Okay, guys and girls. Again, just like last time, I hope you will be very patient with Miss Dean because she has been teaching writing in person all these years. And so now to be able to teach it online virtually is a little bit of a challenge. And so I'm kind of accustomed to doing this on a whiteboard or on a smartboard and being able to explain step by step with students asking questions. And so, again, it is important on your end that you listen very carefully. And I did notice last Wednesday that might have been part of the challenge on your end. You will probably have to listen to these videos more than one time. You're human, just like I'm human. We don't hear everything and understand everything the first time. So it is okay for you to listen to it more than one time, especially when you want to be able to get a 100. And again, just like last Wednesday, I'm going to cough a little bit. These yellow flowers are getting the best of me. Hold on one second. Let me take a sip of water. We'll see if that helps. Anyway, so hopefully by the time you have clicked on your document, or by the time you have clicked on this video, if I can get it to upload correctly in the order I want it to upload, you should have already seen the little video clip for the musical instrument called the hurdy-gurdy. I think that is a fascinating instrument. It's fascinating to look at, and it is fascinating to watch, and it is fascinating to listen to. And so I have the little video clip that you would have watched, and there was a little document that would have shown you a picture of one. The picture is of a lady who has one in her lap that she's playing. But then the other one is a diagram. And so both of those are text features. One is, a photograph text feature, but the other one is a lot more detailed, so that if you had been interested, you could have seen the different parts of it. And I just find it very interesting. I hope you did too. And of course, there's a couple of paragraphs on that little document that give you a little bit more detail. Now, I chose the hurdy-gurdy so that when we're working on the paragraph this week, there is more detail, because one of your jobs this time is to write one of the details. And I wanted you to have a lot of detail so that you could pick something different than perhaps I'm going to pick. Now, I am going to let you watch me as I begin to design this paragraph so that you understand how I'm doing it. Students, listen to Miss Dean carefully. You are not writing an entire brand new paragraph. You are not writing an entire brand new paragraph. I'm going to say it a third time. You are not writing an entire brand new paragraph this week. I am easing you into this process. So if you write an entire new paragraph, you're making a lot more work for yourself, because you are then going to have to erase it like some of you did last week and go back and get my original paragraph back on there and then do it according to the instructions. So again, you need to listen to instructions. I am going to write most of the paragraph for you, and you're going to only be required to finish the paragraph that is already written for you. And so I'm going to show you how it is I'm going to write the paragraph so that you understand. So as we go along, you can write more and more of it on your own. Now, obviously, I am writing about the hurdy-gurdy today, or we will be writing about the hurdy-gurdy. So, of course, there's a little bit of a delay with the way this computer does whenever I am typing on record, but I'm going to type the word hurdy-gurdy. Now, I don't expect you to do things like fancy, like put them in the center. I'm going to do it right now, so it'll be in the center for you. I don't expect you to do that right now. So I'll eventually teach you how, but right now I'm just going to do it myself and put it over there. What I want you to see, let me go ahead and bring this down because I'm going to end up putting our paragraph above it. But what I want you to see right now for just a moment, if I can quit doing that, clear my throat, is my thought process. I want you to understand my thought process, because I think I can make your writing extremely easy if you will let me. Now, right now, we are only doing one paragraph. So that is why we have an opening and closing. We have an opening and closing because we only have one paragraph. So I'm going to write, well, let me do this. This top line is for my opening paragraph. So I'm going to write that there so I can, not opening paragraph, sorry, opening sentence. I'm going to write that to remind myself. That's what that is. Then I'm going to come down and go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Actually, I can come back out. Let me do this. I'm going to hit backspace and make it real easy on us because we've already said that we're okay if we have a total of 5 sentences. I am telling you, you can have more. I am telling you, you can have more than 5. But for the sake of minimal, we can say that we can have as few as 5. So you could have more. But for today, let's just keep it at this for simplicity. Now, remember, the last thing needs to be your closing sentence. Okay. So if I were to, or you, either one of us were to completely want to design our new paragraph, I know that I have to come up with an opening sentence. I have to come up with a closing sentence. And I have to have at least 3 sentences, we all agree, because then this is 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay? So that would be 5 total, and I would have enough. But these 3 have to all belong and have to be on the same topic as this. This is going to make sense in a minute. These have to be the same topic, this whole paragraph. So I'm going to start with an opening sentence that said, let me see. I actually made one of these yesterday, so I'm going to kind of go along with what I did yesterday. Oh, no, I didn't. No, I didn't. I know where that was. The hurdy-gurdy is, I'm going to say, one of my favorite instruments. Okay. Now, keep in mind that I am not going to let you today use my closing sentence. Please keep that in mind. One of the things you're going to do again this week is come up with your own closing sentence. So I'm going to put this in bold because I'm going to create my own closing sentence, but you will have to come up with your own, okay? It can be similar to mine, but it can't be exactly mine. And some of you who copied exactly mine know that when you did, I sent it back and made you fix it. So you just had double the work and you didn't get away with it. So do not copy my sentence. But I want it to sound similar to this. So the hurdy-gurdy is one of my favorite instruments. So I could put something to close it and say, let me think along those same lines. I hope you found a lot to like about this instrument too. So that makes sense, doesn't it? It's one of my favorite, and I hope you find a lot to like about it too. They go together. It's my favorite. I hope you'll like it too. They go together. Now, you can come up with something that kind of goes along with it. You just don't want to use my exact one. I know I'm in the safe zone because that's a the and this is I. So I don't even have the same beginning, and I'm good. Now, guys, you watched the video. You saw the little story. You saw the picture. All I have to do is put interesting detail in here about the hurdy-gurdy and why I think it is one of my favorites. Okay? So I will give you some examples. So I can't use the word I again because I've already used it. And I can't use the word the. I can say, oh, it's going to be tough. It's like a little puzzle. There is something wonderful about an can put instrument. That is played using a wheel. Okay? I do believe that's interesting. Now, another thing that makes it my favorite. At one time, the hurdy-gurdy was used in churches. I liked when I found that out about it. Okay, ooh, it's getting a little tougher because I can't have the, there, at, and I. Okay, I'm going to put this in bold because, guys, guess what? I'm going to pick another detail right here. But I'm going to be having you to do this part when you write a paragraph, okay? I'm going to have you do a different detail because I'm going to be giving you the first 3 sentences of the paragraph, but I'm going to be asking you to do the last 2. So I'm just giving you what my last 2 would be. I hope you understand that. I'm taking away these 2 steps, but I'm letting you see what it is that I have done. So another reason I think it's one of my favorites, personally, I love the droning sound. And if you remember them telling you about it making a droning sound, I can't remember if the guy mentioned it in the video or not. If not, you may want to look it up. A droning sound on a hurdy-gurdy is that, I'm going to have to make, it's almost a hum, that So the entire time the hurdy-gurdy is playing a tune, it makes that constant sound. A bagpipe does the same thing. And a dulcimer does the same thing. My dad was a musician. He absolutely detested instruments that made a droning sound, which is so ironic because I'm his daughter. I can't even play instruments, but I love the sound of a droning instrument like that. And apparently other people do as well. So now watch what I do. I've taken all of this and this is what I never want you to do for me. Like, this is not a finished product. Please understand, this is my thought process. So I've made my life easy, but this is not a finished product. I would never, never, never accept this as a paragraph. You would not like Tuck Everlasting if it had it written like this. It would just wear you out. So I'm going to go above my little workspace. People sometimes call these a sandbox, a little workspace. Just in case you ever catch a document that keeps going to the middle, please watch what I'm doing. I'm going to the top. Do you see this? Look at Miss Dean. It's in the middle, and I don't want it there. I'm going over here. Watch me again. I'm going over here where it says left align, and I'm clicking it, and it goes back over there. I could have backspaced, but that makes life easy. I am going to, I'll tell you what you could do to make life easier. I'm going to copy and paste. If you have the ability to copy and paste, if you know how to do it, control copy, or whatever the case may be. If you don't know how to control copy, you may have to retype it. If you know how to control copy, I'm going to show you something. If you don't, just retype it. Please understand, you could retype this. You can retype it. If you know how to copy and paste, copy and paste. If you don't, might be a good skill to look up on YouTube. That's how teachers do. If we don't know how to do something, we look it up on YouTube. Might want to ask a brother or sister. But you see how quickly it was. Now watch what I'm going to do. I'm going to take out all of the stuff that is not a part of a paragraph, like the words opening sentence. Now remember, I don't make you indent as long as you've got a space. I'm going to take out that one. We don't want numbers in there. Now you're going to have to watch this real careful because I'm going to be real particular about this stuff. Because this is not impossible for you to do if you pay attention. I'm taking out all that extra stuff like the word closing sentence and opening sentence, and I took out my numbers. That is still not a paragraph because it is all over the place. So I'm going to see if I can hit backspace and make myself a little bit of room. See that? Now I'm putting my sentences where they go together, just like in a paragraph. I'm just hitting backspace. That's all I'm doing. I'm clicking there and hitting backspace so that they go together. Do you now see that that's a paragraph? I know that you do. I know that you do say that that is a true paragraph. because now the sentences all go, and then, and I love two spaces. I prefer two spaces. There's a reason why, but anyway, that is a beautiful paragraph. Look down below it. That is not a beautiful paragraph. It says the same thing, but that is a nice, concise paragraph. That's what I'm looking for. That's what people will look for when you go to college and in fourth grade and that sort of thing. Now listen to me reading this here. The hurdy-gurdy is one of my favorite instruments. There is something wonderful about an instrument that is played using a wheel. At one time, the hurdy-gurdy was used in churches. Personally, I love the droning sound. I hope you found a lot to like about this instrument too. Do you see how it opened up the paragraph? It gave you some details about why I like it, and then it closed it. It didn't give you any more information. Like I wouldn't have wanted to add a new detail here. I just want to close it up. That's all I want to do is I want to sort of mirror what it says here because I only have one paragraph and I have the space. Okay. Now, what I'm going to do for you is when you get this document, this is going to be erased because this is my closing sentence and I want you to have your own. So I'm going to take that out. I want you to now this time not only give me the closing sentence, but this time I want you to give me one of the detail sentences. Okay. So now you're responsible for 1, 2. Guys, don't erase this. Don't erase this because this is staying. Listen to Miss Dean. You're adding a sentence about one of the details, and it can be not the detail I gave you. You can go back and watch the video, pick up any detail about that hurdy-gurdy. There's all kinds of information about the hurdy-gurdy, any detail about it you want. And then you write a closing sentence that sort of matches about it being a favorite instrument or an instrument that's cool or something like that, okay? That's what you're doing. I am going to just take this out and I'm going to leave the framework in case you want to have that where you can write your closing sentence there so you'll have a place to put it. And I'm going to take this out so you can, if it'll go, so you can type yours there so you can see it, so you'll know, so that you can work it out. But you're going to be putting your own little your closing sentence here. You're going to put your little detail right there, your little detail sentence, so you can fix them the way you want them, but then you're going to make sure they're here. You're going to make sure they're here because that is the one you're going to use. This is just the area you're working on it. This is the finished product, okay? Then you're going to come down here like you did last time. And guys, let me get the 10s out of here because when you get it, it will not have these 10s because you're supposed to do that. Okay, because you need to do that part. Anyway, it says give yourself 10, I'm going to fix this, points for every yes answer. So don't put yes. You want to put 10, 10, 10 all the way through. But you've got to read this. Make sure you have an introductory sentence. Make sure it's capitalized everywhere correctly. If you did not capitalize correctly in your closing sentence, do not give yourself 10 points because I'm not going to give them to you. You need to go back there and fix it if you want those 10 points. Make sure the words are spaced correctly. Make sure there's a space before and after the paragraph. Make sure it has a closing sentence like I have asked for. Make sure each sentence in the paragraph starts with a different word. Make sure it stays on topic. Make sure there's 5 sentences in that paragraph. Make sure the number of paragraphs required for the assignment. And as you know, that was here. I'm surprised I didn't have an opening on here, but I can fix that later. Let's count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We'll have to fix it later on. Anyway, yeah, introductory sentence. Sorry, I just didn't have the word opening. If you have done every single thing here, and guys, just putting 10 there is not going to get you the points. You actually have to make sure these are accounted for because I do. I'm going back to make sure this is there, and you don't get the 10 points if you don't. So once you have made sure they're all there and you submit it to me, return it to me, and make sure you do return it to me, then I'm going to grade it. Now, this is just one of a couple of videos you're going to have because I'm going to go back after I've shown you how to do this. I'm going to show you how to access it on a different video and how to submit it and that sort of thing. But I wanted to go ahead and at least give you the lesson on how to do this. Watch this video more than one time because every little tiny step I give you is another tiny step that's going to make your life easy. I'm trying to make your life easy, but I can't do it for you, although I'd love to. But watch this video more than one time. Also, make sure you watch the hurdy-gurdy music little thing. It's like 3 minutes. Watch it a couple of times. It's fun. It won't hurt you to watch it a couple of times. Make sure you look over the little document so you can see all the little details. You can go back and forth as many times as you want to those videos or that little document to see what detail you want here and to work on your closing sentence. But and make sure you look to see how to submit it and all these sorts of things. But this will be a great Wednesday assignment if you, and I don't want to return it to you. So let's get it done and get it done on Wednesday so that next week I'm not having to say, you need to go back and do your Wednesday thing, because it's much, much better if you go ahead and get it done today. All right. Thanks, guys. I will get started on the next one.